What's up, guys? Bullvi the Fell-Handed here. Welcome to another edition of MapQuest. Here we are on Pacific Island Typhoon Assault. Now, if you are a bat chat driver on this board, you have to be extremely cautious, and the reason for this is the storm is a boon, but it's also kind of an issue from time to time. And the reason for that is, you go around the wrong corner and there's 2 or 3 tanks sitting there that you would have normally spotted. And that's the issue. I've had that happen before, so you need to be wary of that. Now, I want to discuss, before we get engaged, there's an issue that I see a lot of guys do. I am myself guilty of it. You're in a bat chat, you're in a BC, you're invulnerable, you can do whatever you want, and a lot of times guys get trigger happy and they want to roll the reds too soon, or not, in the right time, so to speak. You want to start rolling people mid to late game, and you can roll people, but the issue is you always need to make sure you know the background. What I mean by background is, if there is a guy in front of you and you drive out there, what about the 2D stars sitting behind him? So, you need to be aware of the background at all times. You need to have an idea. If you've got 4 TDs on the team like we do here, you need to say to yourself, okay, this is typically where TDs sit. I need to be prepared for that. You need to know about where the heavies go. You need to know what mediums do. I mean, normally your mediums are going to be all over the place, as well as your lights, so it's going to be a little hard to predict. But the other side of that is your mediums and your lights are normally going to be on the map because, they're going to be spotted. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. Those two little old points right there that are kind of tied to one about rolling people. So you need to do it mid to late game, and you need to be aware of your background. Now, this is a little different than what I typically do most games. This is a very good tactic. You are essentially going to snipe the first half. This is effective if you are by yourself to snipe the first half, because what you're doing is you are limiting how much HP you are willing to trade. And this is what we're doing. We're not trading any HP right now. We are inflicting damage. We're doing rather well. Sure, you miss some shots. Sure, some shots bounce. That's fine. But for the most part, we are inflicting damage with 0 damage returned to us. If you will notice, a lot of the super unicums, when they run solo, they do the exact same thing. They tend not to mix it up until mid to late game. And if you'll also notice, the majority of supers, unless they are 3-marking something, typically run medium tanks. And, the BC just happens to be one of, the more OP medium tanks out there, in addition to the 140. Moving on. So, I'll focus back on the map here. This map is a little different than, say, Steps when you're on Storm, and the reason for that is this is extremely more close quarters, because you have the same size, roughly the same size map, except almost half of its water. Let's say a third of its water. Okay, a quarter. And anyway, the point is that you have less room to roam around and fire on people. So that's why I'm saying you have to be extremely cautious in this map, just because everything is so close in, everything's so tight. So, you have to be cautious, especially on this map. So, right now we're just kind of taking some long-range shots. If you look at the map there, if you look at the scoreboard, it's kind of time to do some action. About the time, you need to move out. You know, granted, we could have moved out before this, but if you're in a spot and you're getting good shots and, you know, your shots are fine, stay there and keep firing. You know, you don't really want to leave until your shots dry up. You don't want to waste opportunities of firing at tanks. You know, so that's kind of my point right now. We are on the bad side of this team. We are losing like crazy. Don't ever be one of those guys who drives your tank into the water, go out like a G every single time. You've got a 5-round clip, just empty it in somebody. So right now, you'll notice I held my fire until I got to the side of it. And it's like I said in my other videos, if you have time, take time. And we had time, we weren't in a rush, we had some HP. You know, worst case scenario, we could take some damage. So, you know, we pulled a good one there. We ended up getting tracked instead of, you know, taking 850. So he's running away. We went ahead and put one in the rear of him, and now we're on a reload. This game has transferred from, you know, doing what you want into doing what you can. And you always want to be on the doing what you want side of this, if you catch my drift. Granted, of course, you can't always have that. The most important thing a tanker can always have is options. And it's situations like this where we are quickly running out of options. And, you know, we've all been here. I mean, sure, we've all been on a team where you just kind of get worked over kind of quick. But if you can control your options, you know, if you can control, okay, can I fall back? Can I get out of here? Can I advance? Can I move there, here? Can I move there without, you know, getting fired on? Or can I do this and clip this guy out and not get damage? Options. That's what you're looking for. Options is the most powerful thing, in my opinion, you can have in this game. And that's what we're looking for. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of MapQuest on Pacific Island Typhoon. We did 5,273 damage. We'll see you guys next time.
I'ma catch this motherfucker slipping.